The sacks are back, and there's a common theme for all of them at Ohio State. This is what happens when you cross a Boren Blitz with BuckIQ. That's Zach Boren. I'm Austin Ward. Ohio State 1, 2, 3 sacks against Nebraska. Zach, how did they get them?
They got them from bringing pressure. And Ryan Day talked about that. I think Ryan Day, after that Oregon game, knew they had to get after the quarterback more. You know, they didn't really touch Dylan Gabriel against Oregon, knew for this defense to be successful throughout the rest of this year, they had to get after the quarterback. You could definitely see the Ryan Day flair that they had. They were running a lot more games. They were bringing a lot more secondary pressure, and it worked, right? It definitely worked. One thing that I think this defense has to be very cautious about, though, is every sack that they got on Saturday, and a lot of those sacks that they've gotten this year have all come when pressure was being brought. You have to be able to get home and 4 down. Somehow, some way you have to. Every time you bring pressure, you are putting someone in the secondary on an island. And we've seen what that can do at Denzel Burke at Oregon. We've seen what it can do in the past, right? When they've brought pressure and guys have gotten beat. When you bring pressure, you have to get home quickly. And they were able to do that some on Saturday. The issue is moving forward, you have to continue to do that. But on the flip side, in 4 down, man, you have to be able to get home as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the risk reward if you're needing a blitz. Like, you're going to be playing a lot of man coverage. We've seen, Davison Igbinosun with the pass interference penalties. He had 3 of them on Saturday against Nebraska. If you're taking it back further, Zach, all the way to the fourth quarter against Georgia, sometimes if a receiver, gets a defensive back to fall down and slip, like, that's a touchdown. So you're playing a more dangerous game, which I think, that's certainly the point you're trying to make there, Zach, is like, it's better for the overall integrity of the defense if you don't have to do that. But Ohio State appears like it's in a situation where it feels like it's going to have to add 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 additional bodies to get to the quarterback, because those plays are worth the risk for them.
For sure. And it's also the reason why BIA has its name, right? You want guys to be physical. You want guys that can match up one-on-one. I mean, it's why they recruit the way they do. And they've got some great corners coming in next year's class who are built for that style of defense. But at the same time, yes, there's a big risk reward. You went all the way back to Georgia. I was even thinking, Michigan in 22, right? When we gave up some big pass plays because of pressure and it's one-on-one and you get beat. So, yeah, I mean, we could give a full defensive breakdown on different things that they could do outside of what they're currently doing. And you and I have touched on that multiple times with, I think, different personnel, some different personnel decisions, getting more speed on the edges in certain situations. I'm a huge fan of Caden Curry. Only, I think, 9 snaps against Nebraska. That number needs to be up. That's a whole different conversation. I think, getting after the quarterback also has to do with fresh legs, and that's a huge thing that I shouldn't say a huge discussion point that's been going on this year. But as you can see, though, Ohio State, listen, they got after the quarterback with some pressure on Saturday. It was great to see. They're going to have to do some things to affect Drew Aller, or, if Drew Aller isn't in there, maybe they can play more of a base defense with more of a running quarterback. But there's a lot of different formations that Penn State's going to throw at you this coming Saturday, that when you bring blitz packages and pressures, you all have to be on the same page, because you can quickly lose communication, lose responsibilities when they're throwing something different at you and you're bringing a blitz.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Knowles was able to put Drew Aller in a blender last year. Different looks, different pressures. Certainly they're going to have to do that no matter who's at quarterback, but especially, with Drew Aller and maybe some limited mobility compared to the option with Prbula off the bench. But, they at least have some momentum, Zach. They figured out a way to get to the quarterback. Is it the only way they should do it? We can probably debate that part, but you saw JT Tuimoloau with a huge celebration, and like, you could feel maybe some catharsis from him that they were able to make it happen. I talked to Ty Hamilton after the game. They were like, we know we've been challenged, and they delivered and stepped up, and he made a play. Tyleik Williams continues to show up when he's been healthy. All those guys got in the sack column. Can't take that as anything but a positive.
For sure, it's a positive, especially going into this game. And guess what? Ryan Day talked about it this week at his press conference. If you're the defense, guess what? This game is for the season. It's for the season. You go into Happy Valley and you win on Saturday. All your goals are in front of you, right? The chance to go to Indianapolis is right there. The chance to make the college football playoff is right there. I mean, it's a massive game. And I know there is a lot of attention on this defensive line to be able to control this football game and make some massive, impactful plays. And they have to do that, especially going on the road. You got to get Penn State second and long, third and long. That's on the defensive line to do. And I'm excited to see them show out.
All right. Ohio State got themselves in that defensive position on Saturday against Nebraska. Let's see how and roll the tape. All right, here we go, Zach. First drive of the game right away. Ohio State ending that sack drought and getting to Dylan Raiola. It's what you want, and they bring an extra body.
First drive, first series, they bring two extra bodies. You were bringing both linebackers right here. You see Sonny Styles, you see Cody Simon, both coming with a cross blitz here. The entire defensive line, or I shouldn't say entire, but right side defensive line, JT drops out. You've got Tyleek and Ty Hamilton getting to the outside contain, going on the right-hand side. I mean, this is a great little look, right? It's a little game that they obviously have practiced. It's those games and pressures that Ryan Day talked about the entire week leading up to it. You saw it early on Saturday, and you saw them get home, which is huge. And what I also love about this is you look at all of the pass rush lanes, right? All of them are covered right here. I mean, that's what I love. You saw sometimes in this game, Dylan Raiola get out of the box or get out of the pocket and be able to get downfield. But guess what? Cody Simon here absolutely blows up the running back. Love that. It's physical. Tyleek Hamilton keeping proper contain, makes the play. And then I don't know if anyone else caught this, but you could tell this had some Ryan Day flair to it, because I don't know if I've seen Ryan Day this pumped up all year on the sideline after this sack.
Yeah, Tyleek Williams gets the benefit here, but you talk about this all the time. Like, it's rallying to the football. It shouldn't matter necessarily who makes the play. Tyleek Williams is playing great. I made that point in the intro. But like, multiple guys had an opportunity to make this play, and then they wind up with four of them rallying to Raiola at the end.
For sure. And it's not like they got to Raiola super quick right there, right? The guys on the back end were covering properly. Raiola could not go anywhere. He had to try and escape the pocket, and Tyleek Williams kept proper contained. It is again, right? Watch Cody Simon on this. Sonny Styles does great going in. So you want to go to the inside shoulder of the guard. And why? Because look what it does. If he goes to the outside shoulder here, the guard isn't turned. There isn't a huge lane, right? Sonny goes to the inside, and look at that lane. Now Cody Simon's free. I love the physical aspect of here. If he tries to swim this guy or get around him, guess what? Dylan Raiola can step up. Yes, you've got JT spying, but at the same time, guess what? It's physical, gets back into his lap. At this point, once Dylan Raiola feels Cody Simon, he's like, hey, I need to try and escape the pocket. There's no way I'm able to get this football out. And then guess what? Tyleek Hamilton, perfect, uses his hands right here, sheds the guy, and makes the play. Perfect. That's textbook.
Yeah, you can't ask for more than that. And you force a bad punt after that. We don't need to talk about what the offense did with the ensuing possession. That doesn't really matter. This is BuckIQ. All right. Second opportunity, third and long, a situation where Ohio State has maybe not been always great this season, but they dial up another pressure, Zach.
3rd and 9, and here you go, right? Common theme. Guess what? We're bringing pressure again. We said, hey, listen, we've been struggling to get home with 4 down. We're bringing an extra guy. Cody Simon, once again, look at this. Physical, quick, gets into the inside. I don't know why the tackle's blocking down right here. Maybe they were running some kind of hot route, and you can kind of see right here. It's kind of running some kind of bubble slant. You can see, I don't know what number that is right there, but he's looking for the hot route. But JT right here, unblocked, but gets after Dylan Raiola quickly, gets him down to the ground. Great play once again, right? That's the entire goal. Get him down on the ground.
I think sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but sometimes the benefit of bringing pressure is just confusion. I mean, you mentioned the tackle. Yeah, like he doesn't know what to do because he's not just having to line up and stare directly at JT, who has a move that he might be able to predict or counter. Like, this is different.
One million percent. And so many times people ask questions, normal fans, like, hey, why are guys standing up on third down? Why are guys, giving different looks? It looks like they're out of position. No, it's to create confusion. And that's what pressure does. You try and give the offense a different look that they're not used to seeing. You even see, listen, if you actually roll this back a little bit, here's the entire stunt that you can see. Obviously, if the offense tackle blocks out on JT, Cody Simon is taught, just like the Sonny Styles clip, guess what? Get to the inside shoulder of the guard. Even though the guard goes down, look what Cody Simon does. He sets him up, goes to his outside, gets him to step to the right, and then back to the left. Guess who engaged and is coming back around? Tyleik Williams, right there, right? So even if JT misses him, Tyleik Williams is right there to get another sack. That's the full picture of the package, right? It's not just a guy blitzing and, trying to bring in extra pressure. There's always so many moving parts, which is why we've talked about the defensive line being on the same page as the linebackers, because guess what? There's gap responsibility that needs to be, the integrity of gap responsibility needs to be sound. And you're seeing this right here, that those guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Cody Simon, basically, sometimes as a linebacker, you're taking one for the team. Guess what? I got to do everything. I'm just taking this dude out, and I'm going to try and get to the quarterback, but I know I'm basically just, the
sacrificial lamb. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Right. So that's what he does right here. But you saw the full package and everyone get home. Here's another one, right? 3rd and 10. Guess what? We talked about guys getting at the front at the line of scrimmage, creating confusion. Look at this. Everyone, you've got 6 guys up at the line of scrimmage, right? Normally, what's going to happen is the offense has to figure out who's dropping, who's coming, what's going on. Guess what? Ohio State said, screw it. Let's play cover 0. Cover 0 means, look at this. Everyone is matched up. It is man on man. That's what we're doing. We are coming after you, and that's it. So here we go. Look at this. Bringing 6 guys. Bam. Let's get home. Someone's going to be unblocked. Who is it? It's Ty Hamilton. And he makes the play. It's huge. And what I also love right here is you can tell everyone's doing their job because look at the pocket. If you look at the pocket, it starts collapsing on him. And they're actually bringing 7.
Yeah, it brings 7, and because I don't know if Caleb Downs is fully engaged to go get, or if he has to drop out after this. I don't know. You're the expert on that, not me. But he's touching the center.
Yeah. So a lot of times what they'll do is they will, especially later in the game, we saw Dylan Raiola break a couple runs. What they'll do is they say, hey, listen, the spy is matched up on the center. And the reason why is because the spy is going to engage and then pull back. Well, guess what? Where's the spy want to be? In the middle of the defense, meaning over the center. And what else do you want to do? You want the center to engage with you so he can't double one way or the other. The center normally always double teams. If you look at it, either going right, going left, helping a guard, double team with a guard, whatever it might be. Here, guess what? Caleb Downs engages with the center. There's no way he can go right or left. Dylan Raiola has to throw hot, doesn't throw hot on it, and there you go. And you can see Caleb Downs is still engaged with the center up there, and he's doing his job, right? Because he's spying Dylan Raiola in this situation.
Coverage seems pretty decent. Not sure that he could have thrown hot without maybe paying the price for that on the back end. I guess you have the drag there, but that's not incredibly open, and he's got 4 people in his face.
Correct. And here's something else I want to point out. We've played 3 clips. All 3 of them, look at number 0. Number 0, dude plays with heart. Dude plays with grit. There are so many people that are outspoken about Cody Simon thinking, I was talking to someone on Twitter respectfully that, they don't think he's done much. Cody Simon is the heartbeat of this defense. In my opinion, the 2 MVPs are Cody Simon and Caleb Downs. Those 2 do so much for this defense. And maybe they're not massive on the stat sheet. Granted, there's games where they jump. But what they do, Cody Simon, all 3 of these plays that we played, is coming full speed and is being physical at the point of attack, right? Going up against the running back twice and putting him back in Dylan Raiola's lap. And the other time going toe-to-toe with an offensive guard and creating penetration as well. The dude plays tough. he should get credit with half a sack right here, but he obviously doesn't, but
I was going to say he's got 8 tackles and 3 tackles for loss in this game. And the 3 plays we showed, he doesn't get anything statistically.
No, doesn't get anything, but look at how much of a factor he was in these plays, right? And that's what we're talking about, creating pressure, being someone that is creating noise, explosive plays, but they don't have to be in the stat sheet. Guess what? It helps the entire defense. You're 111th, right? Urban Meyer was huge about talking about the 111th. And that's what you see Cody Simon doing right here. Look, I mean, just being tough.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have to be again on Saturday noon against Penn State, one of the biggest games of the season. High stakes for the Buckeyes at Penn State in Happy Valley. Looking forward to being there and providing full coverage on the podcast all weekend long. Thanks to Zach Boren for breaking it down as he always does on BuckIQ. For Zach, I am Austin. See you later.